Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with the 37th episode of the Irrelevant Podcast. It's Will once again joined by his friend, Jason.
Get your name out my mouth. Wait, that's backwards. Disregard that.
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, um yeah, dude, when I first before I did like the countdown yet, like I had to make sure the speakers weren't set to like or like the audio input wasn't set to like all the way on the right speaker. Because remember the last time with like the edit from the audio you sent me?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck, man. I'm tired of dealing with Audacity. I'm using another, another program now because I'm sick of this shit.
Audacity has the fucking audacity to do this shit,
I
dude.
know, bro. What the fuck?
Yep. Fuck Audacity.
Fuck this free program that we've been using for over a year. All right, you want to
Yeah,
just?
that is what's really nice about it. Because if this was paid for, I would absolutely just go out and get something else. But
Yeah,
the fact that
but
it's free is just I'm like, okay, I can deal with the minor annoyances here and there.
me too. You want to just jump in?
Yeah. So, um, I recommend it to Jason. I'm actually quite impressed with this salsa playlist I whipped up. Um, so I tried to give Jason um like a general feel for the different kinds of salsa. Um, and then I don't know, yeah, just because like there's a ton of different subgenres, just like rock and like metal and all that stuff. So I tried to highlight those, but also have it feel somewhat kind of like in like I tried to make it kind of monolithic as well so that you could still tell that they were like the same kind of music, I guess. Um so it was a really long playlist. I actually thank you for listening to this whole thing. I was expecting you to be like, "Well, this is way too long."
There's a shit ton of music. I mean, hour and a half is not a long playlist by any means, but it's just like analyzing a shit ton of songs in an hour and a half is insane.
That's the hard part. Well, I didn't think this was a very hard listen.
No, not at all.
Right. So, what and like always I'll put the link to this playlist in the description. Oh, and that reminds me, I need to actually put all of the links to the playlists you've sent me and recommended to me because I don't put those in the descriptions of those videos.
Yeah, you're very one-sided, Will.
Yeah, that's just kind of how human nature is. So, so anyways, what did you think of salsa?
I think I was actually really all over the place on this one. But you're mentioning because these are like different subgenres of salsa. They felt like they were the same. Like it didn't really seem like there that different stuff going on. And I was waiting, like, are some of the songs in this playlist the psychedelic salsa you were telling me about, or is that the psychedelic cumbia that you were telling me? I can't remember.
Yeah, some of them are.
So that's what I was trying to like. I feel like there's only one song in this playlist that maybe can be kind of interpreted in that way, but I don't know. I feel like for the most part, the majority of it was pretty much the same genre. Like I couldn't distinguish the subgenres between them. Um, but that's not a bad thing. But I was trying to hear for that, and like I really couldn't. I
Wait, it's more monolithic as a genre than like the subgenres of metal, I guess. But like you couldn't tell that much of a difference between any. Like you couldn't be able to like group them, I guess.
Not really. Like I could tell that like I mean, but it just sounds like they were just different songs like in a salsa playlist. It didn't sound like they could be construed as two different genres, or a subgenre of another. Like I couldn't hear a distinctive style. I mean, obviously there was distinctive parts within each song. It wasn't just the same throughout all the time, but I don't know, like I couldn't hear really any defining thing. They're all the same instruments, they're all the same general speed and beat, and for the most part the same type of vocals because vocals are usually the biggest difference. And I think there was only like
That is
two or three
true.
songs that stood out different vocally than the rest of them. Obviously, like different nuances and all that, but just as a style. So like I didn't really feel like it was too many different subgenres in one thing. But again, that doesn't really matter. You know, what matters is what does it sound like.
Right.
Because
So
you can.
how did it sound?
So let me just. I'm better if I can just go piece by piece. So the first song, Enamile, that one. When I
Yeah.
first listened, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. No. I want to know what you hear. So you go.
When I first heard it, it sounds like the James Bond theme, just like um, Spanishized with the trumpets in the beginning.
That's an
And
interesting take, huh?
it's what it's if you go
Huh.
back and listen, it's like da 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 like it just kept doing that. So that just sounded like the James Bond theme to me. Um, but I like the
Oh, I
vocals in
never.
it. I like the reverb effect that they had, and I think it was just a great introductory song to salsa.
Yeah, that song. I was actually kind of worried about this, so that's why I tried to do all the variety of the different kinds of salsa. So it's a pretty standard salsa, but I think like just all around, this is honest. That's like I think is like the best salsa song like ever.
Okay, fair enough.
I think so. Like just the beat, the rhythm, and like the lyrics, and like just the vocals, and the montuno too. It's just epic. Like especially when it comes back after they have that whole bridge thing. It's epic. I'm just like, yes, I need to dance like right now.
Yeah, most of these were dancing songs, but like I don't know. I think as a style, jeez, I keep trying to cough. I think as a style, um, they kind of need to be consistent because I feel like salsa is always a faster rhythm kind of dance, so you don't really want to change up the variety of the rhythm too much because then it'll just completely deviate from it, especially if you're trying to dance to it. So I can
Hmm.
I can excuse it for that reason because there is
I
enough variety in the different types of songs for it to be different. But for the most part, it pretty much is very similar melodies and rhythms, which again is fine if it's a good sounding thing. Like it doesn't have to be
it's
in
formulaic, yeah.
yeah, it doesn't have to be anything other than what it is because that's the whole point. Um, the next song, Rosa. So I really like it's like the trumpets kind of making a comeback for me on this one. Um,
Mm.
the more that I listen to it on this
Yeah,
playlist because they're not as like shrill and piercing. There's some songs that were like that, and I'll touch on that later. But for the most part, the trumpets were actually interesting, and they contribute a lot to the songs, and they're mixed well. So I didn't hate the trumpet a lot on this one, which was nice. This one sounded like a very wavy. It just felt very like swaying, and I liked them. Uh, the gang vocals were really nice. I always like that in salsa music where you get a bunch of people singing the same thing. Not really harmonizing, well, I guess kind of harmonizing, but
yeah, but well,
yeah.
yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be, but it's just when they're just singing, just a bunch of men singing together, like it just
Yeah.
sounds really good.
Yeah,
Um,
it fills the sound nicely and it's not overpowering. I really like the cowbell rhythm, and that one kind of rides the cowbell, and it's
yeah,
not really pingy and annoying like a normal cowbell is. So whatever variety of cowbell that was nice. I don't know percussion shit.
yeah.
Um,
There's
yeah,
some salsa songs where that what you said that kettle thing can be a little bit overbearing.
yeah. Which was and this
But
one, yeah, that was my whole point with this song. Everything is mixed well. The only thing for me is the vocals on this one didn't really add anything. I just felt it was a little bit bland. But overall, like if you're out dancing to it, who gives a fuck? You know.
yeah, like I love the background singing. Um, yeah, like I think the main singer is just like, yeah, I don't. I mean, it's not bad, but and it's like a definitely good, but it's just like I'm not really thinking about that.
Yeah.
um, but the I was wondering if you would have like agreed with me. That song, Rosa, by the way, sorry, by Grupo Nietzsche. Oh, and the first song is also a cover of that same song by Grupo Nietzsche.
Mm.
I just thought the cover is better.
Okay. Yeah, it sounded
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, no, it's really good. I think it's more sophisticated, honestly. But then Rosa, I think that song has like the sickest bass line I've ever heard in a song.
Yeah, that was a good bass line. I did
Yeah,
enjoy
it's
that.
just bow, 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 bow. Oh, it's so good. And just like the bass is really like the most important thing in a salsa song. Without it, it just doesn't. It's not the same.
It's the hips moving, man. You gotta follow the bass.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
Yeah, so that one I liked.
Um,
The next song, dude, this is this for some reason this word is a fucking tongue twister to me. I don't know why, and I still don't think that I'm gonna pronounce it right. Iloradas, something is that it?
j- Llorarás.
Lloradas,
Llorarás. It means you shall
lloradas.
cry.
Interesting. For some reason, like I was just fucking just like I just kept fucking just autistically pausing in the middle of the fucking word. But anyway, um, this one, I don't know. I didn't really get anything out of this one, but I liked how it sounded, which is really strange.
Mm.
I didn't feel
This.
conflicted, but like it's one of those ones where it's like
Okay.
it's like the perfect Mexican restaurant song. Like I definitely want to eat some food to it, but really not much else. Like I wouldn't want to dance to it. Oddly enough, because
Really?
it's
Because like
I
I think
yeah,
this song Llorarás. So this is like actually this is a really famous one.
it
Ana
sounds
Milei and
familiar. Yeah,
right, Ana Milei is really famous. Like that chorus, you know, like the Te pinto pajaritos en el like I sing that with the guys at construction all the time. And it's so cool to know all these songs because like most Hispanics like um they like especially like the ones I've met, they're not really like hostile per se to like other Hispanic countries' music. They're not like, oh, that's a Mexican thing, or oh no, I don't like that because I'm Bolivian and I don't like Mexican. Like they all kind of just think that all of their music is interesting, like that they have amongst each other, like and especially salsa because that's more or less like something that they kind of all share. I mean, it's because salsa it does come from the Caribbean, like specifically Cuba, but it also just kind of went everywhere in Latin America. So they're all just like, yeah, it's just a Latin American thing. Whereas like mariachi is like just Mexican, really. Like it
right.
just you hear it, you're like, that's Mexican. Or like you hear, you know, well, I mean, people aren't as familiar with the other genres of Hispanic music, but you know, like cumbia comes from Colombia, or like bachata and all that stuff comes from the Dominican Republic. Merengue comes from Puerto Rico and all that stuff. Even if you're not necessarily familiar with that, salsa just generally is like you just hear that and you're like, that's just like Spanish music, you know?
I mean, it's what music should be, no matter where the fuck it's from. If you like it, you like it. No need to have a cultural war over a fucking piece of art. You know.
Right, but they kind of yeah, but that's the thing is that Hispanics do kind of unite under because even if like you don't, well, it's not your favorite genre of music, like none of them like hate it, you know?
It's kind of hard to hate unless you tie it with some specific person or emotion, or you just generally hate the sound of it. But I
True.
assume there's people that just
Um,
hate it because of the cultural aspects of wherever the fuck it's from or who sings it. So, but that's yeah, anyone who does that, no matter what genre, because that's just how we are as people. Just fucking tone the line of saying nothing and feeling everything. Um,
right. Um, but so this guy Oscar de Leon, he is playing the bass as well,
okay.
and he is really good. If you see him playing, he's very entertaining. And he also has a really nice mustache.
Sounds like he has a good mustache. I feel like everyone that sings this sounds like they have a good mustache or play it. The next
Did you?
one, hmm?
Sorry, did you see on the album cover though?
I honestly wasn't paying attention to the album covers, to be honest with you.
Well, either way, I think this song is the grooviest one.
Yeah, this one is pretty groovy. But like I said, for
Yeah,
some
just
reason it's just the one I want to eat food to, not dance to. I don't know why.
it is relaxing too in that sense. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely love to eat food too, but I also just want to dance to it. It's
Yeah,
so epic.
yeah. So that one's good. The next one, AL. Um, this
Yes, that is a good song.
It is, but like I didn't like I couldn't really distinguish it from the previous ones that I was listening to. It still sounds nice. This one I didn't like the solo trumpet that was doing the lead melody. That one was kind of piercing and a little bit annoying, but the ones in the background that were doing the filler, I like those ones.
You didn't like that one that came in like halfway through the song?
Not really, like I said, because I don't
Oh, I
like the
thought that was
sound of the
awesome,
trumpet.
man.
It's just like that's that what I don't like is when they just like take over the whole song and just pierce through the whole fucking thing. So that's kind of why. But the like I said, the ones in the background I liked; those are fine. Um,
Fuck. I love that trumpet part in the middle. It's so like I don't know, like it's just so Latin and stuff like that. And you just
Yeah.
hear it, and you just think of like the bright colors of like Cuban architecture and stuff like that. And it's like nighttime, and all that stuff. Like,
I do get that feeling in other songs and like down the list, but
oh, I
just this
see.
one specifically, I just didn't like. Again, it's just purely just the way that it sounds and the way that it just kind of like I don't know.
Okay. So
Um, but yeah, this one was a good one. But there's nothing really stood out to me that was what I haven't said before in the previous three songs. So I didn't really know what more to add except for that. But it was a good song. The next
alright.
one, oh fuck, the next one, my notes cut off the title. What the fuck? Esa familia a mí, and then it just stops. I don't remember what the rest of the song is.
It is. Esa familia a mí no me conviene,
Okay, that song.
which means that family does not convene to me.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, dude, a lot of these songs are sassy, man.
Get a little spice in there, little spicy boy. But no,
This
I
song was spicy, I think.
this one I think has the nicest vocals in the playlist, just like how they sound and the guy that was singing them. Um,
I see.
I think yeah, that one was my favorite. The instruments just kind of sound like filler in the background, like nothing really too ingenuitive for the genre. Not pushing any boundaries or anything. But like I said, I like the song purely for the vocals, which is strange because usually in this style, like the vocals are not something I really gravitate towards. Oddly enough, um, I'm not saying I gravitate more towards the instruments, just that like the vocals are usually like something I can tolerate or something that I don't like, but very like really like the sound of. But I really like the vocals in this one.
Like, you couldn't like tell that this song was like different than the first four.
I mean, I could tell in the vocal style it was different, but not in anything else. That's why I liked it because I think this one stood out from the rest of them vocally, and that's why I liked it the most. But with the instruments, it just sounds like the same as before.
But like, it isn't though. Like, you couldn't hear the 12-string guitar and all that stuff.
I could, but like it doesn't like how do I explain it? It didn't do like different things. It just was a different sound, which it was a nice sound. I liked the sound, but it didn't like do anything different. Like it still played the same type of things.
It works though.
No, it definitely works. I'm not saying it doesn't work. Like
Well, like
this good.
that's like why I love this genre so much, because it's just so interesting to me to see like essentially like what can you guys like what is like the new Montuno on the piano you can do, or what kind of slight variation, because like I always find like songs that just do something slightly different where I'm just like, ah, yes, that's awesome. And it's like, I know it's the same piano thing, I know it's the same rhythm, I know it's the same instruments, but it's so, well, I guess we'll get into this later on the list, but like I love when some of the songs threw in like a fiddle. Like, I was like, that's cool.
Oh yeah, and I'm just gonna add that more. But I know my thing is like
Yeah.
you can still, and this is like where the subgenre part comes in. Like you can still do stuff in like a very similar rhythm and a very similar style, but you can still create an individual sounding riff in that sort of rhythm. You know what I'm saying? Like you can add pauses, you can add variations to it. Right? So like there's a bunch of stuff you can do to kind of change up, and especially for the rhythm, because the rhythm is the most important aspect of the song, in terms, especially if you're dancing to it. So I get like you have to keep it consistent so like people can like, oh, this is salsa, I know how to dance to salsa, as opposed to any other form of dancing. But like you can still change up the variety, and that's what I thought I was going to go to with different genres. But a lot of it was just like kind of different vocals, and they added some more instruments, which is cool. But I don't think it really like makes it that much different, if that makes sense,
I see.
like rhythmically or melodically. But obviously, like the extra instruments that they add definitely really add to the song. Especially like you said, the 12-string guitar, some flutes, some violins, some piano, some different keyboard sounds. Like those are always cool and give it more dynamic, or not dynamic, give it more variety. But yeah, but that one I really liked in terms of vocals. The next song, Capinha, Campinha,
Piña. Yeah.
yeah. This one I like a lot because, like I was saying, this one changed the mood up a little bit. It was slightly moodier, and the trumpet melody was actually really nice in this one. It's very jazzy, and I kind of got like a New Orleans vibe a little bit.
Yeah, this one, so that's what like I tried to group them up, like the different songs. So, like, the first two songs are what's called salsa dura, which
hmm
is like hard salsa.
Right.
Um kind of like hard rock, I guess. But it's like hard salsa because like it's it's fast, but it's also like loud. There's a lot of instruments, right? Like
Right.
those are the kind of songs like you don't just sit down and eat music. Sorry, it's not eat music. You don't just sit down and eat food too. Like you just have to like get up and dance. Like it induces that like energy and like just that call to dance, you know. And it's epic too. Like they're in all those really like goosebump inducing minor keys and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but now Llorarás and Ael are more what's called like urban salsa.
Okay.
Um, and then these two that we're on now, the Esa Familia a mí no me conviene and Campiña are more like Afro-Cuban salsa. So like it's gonna be a lot more you're right, like jazzy New Orleans kind of stuff, because it's more Afro influenced. One and salsa is originally Afro-Cuban, like the rhythms and everything come from
Right.
like the when the slaves congregated and all that stuff.
Okay, that's
It
interesting.
right. So right. So it is more. It's jazzier, especially this one, Campiña. I think I should have put a couple more of those kind of songs because I figured you'd like that one more.
Yeah, I do like this
Um,
kind of sound a little bit more.
yeah, but this song Campiña by Afro Cuban Jazz Project, it's like one of the chillest songs ever.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to touch on too. Is I love the warm, soft vocal lines that were just kind of sprinkled throughout the song. That was a really really nice touch. I really like that.
Yeah, and the Montuno as well, like just those the notes I thought were just perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
Um,
this was a great song. I like this one a lot. It's not my I have a one that I like more on this list. So
mhm.
this would have been my favorite one if I had not heard the upcoming one that I'm about to say. But yeah,
Wait,
this.
wait, 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 wait. Sorry, I get like OCD.
What do you mean? What are you
Oh, because I,
confused?
I had like other comments to make about Campina.
Oh, go ahead.
Um, but I guess like so, I mean we haven't talked about it a lot, which is like the lyrics in these songs.
Yeah,
But yeah, like the lyrics in this song are just so simple and perfect because what Campina means is just like a camp, you know.
I kind of figured this would it sounded.
Right, not like a camp like a camping trip, but like just like a, you know, like a you own a ranch or something like that and it's your camp, you know.
Yeah.
Right, and he's just talking about how like in my camp I'm happy.
Okay, fair enough.
and right and with my like guajira is like a it's like a Cuban folk song that you just sing out loud and stuff like that. So he's just saying like in my in my uh in my camp singing my song I'm happy.
That's all you need, man. Very
I
simple
know.
life.
And his wife too.
Wife, life, happy in both. Cool. Yes, that
Right?
one.
And
That
how
was
it's
a.
the land he was born. It's like Country Roads, dude, but the Spanish version.
Yeah, it felt. This one felt cultural. That's why I liked it a little bit more. The
Oh,
next.
and the sorry.
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. And the 12-string guitar solo in the middle, that was great.
Yeah, that was really nice too.
That was mwah, perfect. That's overall like it's a I think it's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, this like I said, this one could have been my favorite song if not for another. The next one, Persona Adial.
Yes. So this one is like if you're not into the genre, I can see well I don't know if this is what you felt, but I'm sure a lot of people would think the song is overbearing because it is like the most like no joke. This is like the most emotional salsa song I've ever heard.
Well,
Um
so this kind of sounds like the Disney Channel version of salsa, or like something that would be in a Disney movie. And it sounded like really like I get what you're saying. It's a very emotional song, but I feel like it's a very like manufactured and forced emotion. Like it was too like advertiser dramatic. If you get what I'm saying.
if you get enough into the genre and and if you like you're just around Hispanics more like it'll you just kind of
Yeah.
well I do at least I just kind of roll with it and I'm like this is just awesome. It's so emotional and it's like the stakes are just like so high. Um,
The only thing I can compare it to is like those like Lincoln commercials with Matthew McConaughey where he gives you a fucking poem so you can buy their dumbass car, and it's just so dramatic.
eh,
Like that's what I just reminded me of. So this one, it just sounded like it was a fucking like a record label song that they just made them write.
well, it is kind of like a bootleg song. Um,
What do you mean a
it
bootleg song?
it's just a cover by like I don't even know who the fuck like of a song by a much more famous group
Interesting.
who is Venezuelan.
Venezuelan.
Right.
Um,
So we got so far Grupo Nietzsche is Colombian. Oscar de Leon is Venezuelan. And then Septeto Santiaguero is Cuban and also Afro-Cuban Jazz Project is Cuban.
hmm.
Yeah, so this one, right, like it's just it I can see how like it does honestly feel like the it's like the young adult version of salsa.
Yeah, it's what it sounds like.
It- but
It's very
it's kind of
forced.
like right, so it's kind of like a guilty pleasure in that sense because I'm just like yeah, so emotional, and he's just talking about how it's just the song is just him talking to his girlfriend how or his just his love how he needs to go.
Oh man, that makes it worse.
He just says like he has to go and do what he has to do.
Open roads call me, babe, but I love you.
Yeah, man. I have to go to Manassas, Virginia.
God, fucking.
Hey,
Um,
dude, I gotta go and work at McDonald's, you know.
Jesus Christ. Um,
Yeah. So, any more thoughts on Persona Ideal?
Not really. Like it just, I don't know. Like I just could not get into it. I think, I don't know.
Man,
It just,
imagine if there was no lyrics though. The actual like beat and rhythm is it's so perfect.
it just sounds overproduced. Like it doesn't.
It's epic though.
Yeah,
It's
but it's like
epic.
it's too like what's the word? Because I don't want to keep saying the same words over again. It's too like
This is the new Tahoe Shada. This is the new like you're like it sounds like some bootleg like cheesy and I'm like, "Yes, I know, but it's epic."
well, no, it's like when metal bands they do like they just add synths and make it operatic to try to make it dramatic, and then they do some like it's just they go out of their way to make it instead of like letting the song build and do that naturally, they have to like just nudge it and squeeze a circle into a box to get that emotion, and that's kind of what I don't like about because I like really emotive music, and obviously sometimes you toe that line of forcing it or not, but I don't know, this one I think missed the mark on being like deep and soulful and emotive. It just felt like it was there to make all the people spending money cry so they'll buy more shit. That's what it sounded like a Disney fucking mom.
Yeah.
You ever see videos of those like fucking like Disney white girls that like are crying when they see the castle and their fucking mouse ears and their goddamn $20 lollipops or whatever the fuck they bought that day? Like it just that's what it reminds me of.
Um Disney World is so cringe.
It's dude, I'm not I only went because my friends were going and they're like, I have to experience it once. It fucking sucked. Honestly, it's awful. It's overpriced. There's only a couple rides that are kind of cool, but the rest of it are just like shitty kid rides or just like dumb animatronic things, which it's made more for kids. I understand that, but just like it is not worth the fucking money that you pay. And the food fucking sucks.
And it's
Everything.
so expensive, bro.
Exactly. It's every food that I had there was awful. And it was all, even the breakfast, like they charge you like $14 for some dumb little fucking, like, Best Western eggs and waffles. It was so bad, dude. Fuck.
Yeah, and then like there are some cool rides. I'll give it that.
The Star Wars one, the Guardians of the Galaxy one, those ones are fucking cool. And obviously the was it Tower of Terror? That one was cool too. But besides that, they're just all like
Um
dumb kid rides, which is fine if you have
Space Mountain's
children.
cool. That was cool.
Space Mountain's all right.
Where there
Um,
was like that there's a Toy Story ride or something where like
yeah, that one was. I didn't like that
that
one at
that
all.
where like you shot all the stuff from I thought that was cool. But like other than that, I'm sure you can find things like that at just like other amusement parks.
I'd rather just go to Universal. I feel like I've never been there either, but I feel like it would just be a little bit better. Not
I've
as
never been there. Well, I mean, also I don't really want to go to any of them anymore. But
I'd rather just go to a regular
also,
amusement park because that's what I was going for anyway. But just like I said, just to go to experience it. But never again. Fucking give the mouse any more of my money and kill myself.
yeah,
Um,
fuck that.
the next song, dude. I think you'll like my take on this one. I don't know if you noticed this or not, but I fucking noticed it immediately.
Mm.
Te Amare.
I shall love you.
You ready for it? You don't know what this sounded like to me?
What did it sound like?
It made me laugh so hard. So it sounded like Don Netto from Narcos was singing this song. Yeah.
I can't believe I didn't think of that.
Yeah, it sounds like his voice,
Yo,
doesn't it?
it. Yeah, wait. I forget his name. It's like Joaquin Ocasio something. Let me see what this guy is. I need to check if he was in a band called Combo Antillano. Let me see. Don Neto act. Yeah, Joaquin Cosillo is his name. That's his name. All right, let's see. Wikipedia. All right, born in Tepic, Mexico. Nationality Mexican. Okay, so let's look at um filmography.
What are you looking for?
Wait, no, not that. Shit, I'm trying to see if he was in a fucking. Yeah, I don't think this is working. I guess he wasn't in it. Fuck. Oh, dude, he voiced the Spanish dub of Ted.
What the
Yo,
fuck?
that is really funny. Oh, he was also in. He was in Suicide Squad.
The American
Okay.
one? The English version?
Yeah, yeah, the like the newer one from 2021.
Weird. I don't remember him being in there. I saw that. I guess I saw that a year ago. It's been a minute since I've seen it.
Fuck. Oh, okay. He voiced Scorpion in Spider-Man. The what's it called? Like with the Spider-Verse thing.
Oh, I don't know. I don't fucking watch that shit.
That was a good movie,
Sounds
actually.
like he's got good
So,
accolades though. But yeah, this song it sounded like he's fucking singing it, and it also sounds like it could be another theme that could be in a James Bond film. Like they're in Mexico, fucking in some dumbass casino, and like somebody's about to get tricked or whatever. And then,
right.
especially with like the dramatic little trumpet notes that they threw in there, the keyboard solo was awesome. But like I just could not get over the vocals because it just sounded exact. I imagine him like standing in the desert, like holding his hat and just like belting at the top of his lungs. It's fucking, it's killing me.
Oh, like it's like they're trying to steal some shit, and he's like, and it's like Don Neto is like distracting everybody, so he has to
Yeah.
sing this like this
Yeah,
this
exactly.
this goofy song. Which I mean, I think the actual music itself doesn't sound goofy, but
Yeah, no,
um,
but the fact that it sounds like he's singing it, and I just couldn't get over it.
right. But yeah, I really love this song. I love the when it goes into the I don't know how you call that kind of stage of the song. Like in the end, where it's like it's not like is it a bridge? I guess.
The bridge is like a change from the from all the other parts. It's just it's like a break from the main song to kind of build into the next part, whether it goes back into the chorus or another pre-verse or outro or
I
whatever the fuck.
I guess you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was excellent.
You know, it was a
Um,
great song. It just that the comparison just fucking distracted me
right.
heavily.
And he's just talking about how like you're like you'll be my you'll be my own forever and stuff like that. It's very like, especially in that voice, it just makes it that much better.
Yeah, everything just comes together nicely. So that's a nice little Easter egg. I hope he looks like
Don
him too,
Neto.
the
Yeah,
singer.
let me look up because like a lot of these bands are like not even really officially. It's really complicated because a lot of it's bootleg. um, like that song I couldn't find on Spotify.
Yeah, some of these I have a hard time finding outside of this playlist.
Yeah, cause like hold on. Yeah, I have no information on this band. Great. So anyway, any final thoughts on Te Amaré?
I mentioned the keyboard
by
solo, right? I like.
that was very nice.
Yeah, that was
Um,
great.
but you didn't. Oh, that brings me back. In Persona Ideal, you didn't like the organ solo in that,
It was
or it wasn't.
fine. I don't
It
know.
was it was epic, dude. The
Yeah,
cascading
but
notes.
again, it was trying to be epic. That's why I didn't connect with it.
It was epic. You just didn't get it, bro.
Yeah, I didn't open my insert joke, but no, I don't know. I I don't know. It just for some reason it just didn't touch me monetarily or emotionally. So
Mm.
sorry about it. The next song, Aquel lugar,
That place.
that place. So I like the sadder trumpet melodies in this one. This one felt more like emotive and intimate than the previous one was trying to be on a subtler kind of scale. So I like that a lot. But this one, I did not like the vocals over it. I felt like they were, again, really like they're just kind of forced upon to the beat, or they just kind of they came up with this really cool song and they struggled to find like good vocal parts for it, and they ended up settling with the ones that like were the best. It's kind of what it
Yes.
sounded like, and which is a shame because I think the song had the coolest trumpet parts of the whole playlist. Like the sounds they
It's
were getting from them were awesome.
it's a very chill and like just smooth song too. And I
Yeah,
love like just the rhythm and how the montuno goes into that,
yeah,
because it's not like a typical what like I mean it is, but also like not exactly.
right.
Like you could tell it's salsa and that same kind of piano pattern, but it's is like different though.
Mm-hmm.
But that is my biggest problem I have with this group, Adolescence Orchestra or Orquesta, sorry. This is actually the band who has the actual version of Persona Ideal. But the reason I don't like their version as much is because like their vocals in that song just don't hit the same.
Yeah,
They're not as they're
yeah.
not as emotional, dude.
Yeah, there's something weird about the way they do them. It just misses for some reason.
Yeah. So yeah, they would be I would like them so much more if they this I don't know what the singer's doing.
Yeah, something.
Because like yeah, because like the actual like melodies they write, they don't sound bad just because it's the melodies like it's poorly written. It's well written, right? But it's just like the actual singer.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the really when people say can anybody sing? Technically, yeah, but can anybody move you? No. Like you can have technically good singers,
Absolutely
but
not.
like they don't sound like interesting, even though it's technically good and it's on key and it's creative and the melody, but like it just does nothing for you because they don't. It's like the timbre of their voice just does nothing interesting. I guess is a harsh way to put it. More tame
Right.
way, it's just they went for something safe, or their voice just naturally doesn't project, interesting sounds. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Right. So those three songs are what is called salsa romántica
Mm,
or
okay,
romantic salsa, and it is also sometimes called salsa erótica,
interesting.
which I think you know what that means.
Salsa erotica. I know where that section is. Um,
Right. But so then now we go back to a little more kind of salsa dura. Um, so this song El Esqueleto, this is what I was talking about on Monday. I love this song so much. I love the storytelling in it, and I forget you don't know what it's saying. So I'm like, fuck, I can't. But so um, do you remember exactly like? Do you remember the gist of what I told you the song was about?
I don't, but as a preface, this one was my favorite on the track or on the
Okay.
list.
I didn't know if this was gonna be a favorite.
I like
Um,
this one a lot. This sounds like aged fine wine. It's just like I loved his like really like wet, like slightly weathered voice. Yeah, that little bit of rasp to it. The piano harmonizing was really cool too, and then I liked the high vocals, like the higher gang vocals that just kind of shot their way in every now and again. It just felt like a really classy song. And then the trill notes on the trumpet, those are really cool too. Or it sounded like a trumpet. It might have been. Am I remembering it? Was that trumpet when they were doing like the fast trill notes? I can't remember.
I want to. It's some kind of. I think it's like flute mixed with. It's a bunch of weird combination. They like
Yeah,
to. This band likes to do it, the Latin Brothers. I put another one of their, actually another two of their songs on this.
Yeah, okay, so it's coming back to me now. Yes, I like when they mix those two instruments together because it sounds fucking really cool as a singular sound. But yeah, this one like it just had that feel to it, like it had that it factor. Um, so this one I enjoyed the most out of all of them.
Yeah, I love when so like the story basically goes this guy goes to a cemetery because he wants to know what is the mystery of life and death, right? And then one of the spirits from the graves like appears to him, right? And he just basically tells him straight how it is. How he's like, yeah, like we're all gonna end up here, dude. Like no one is exempt from this, you know? Like when you're here, all your riches and power aren't gonna matter, you know? Um in one of their other songs they say las calaveras todas blancas son, which means all skulls are white.
Yeah. It's a really
Which
good message. But yeah, I think out of all the storytelling on this, that's probably the most, interesting one, or the one that means the most, or has a better message than just the romantic ones or the other ones in general. Because I could just kind of get that feeling just by the way he was singing it.
right, exactly. And it's like yeah, because that is telling. And he's basically like the part that they keep singing all the time, you know, like the recurring like yo fui lo que tú eres, tú serás lo que yo soy. All that means
Yeah.
like
So I
I
imagine that's the
was
spirits, right?
yeah, because
Yeah.
they're all singing like I was what you are, you will be what we are, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. All
Like
together,
you're
yeah.
right, it's like your day's gonna come, right? But also I love that part in the middle where he does that evil laugh. That was so awesome. That was
Yeah.
so awesome because he's like saying like um he's just saying like tomorrow whenever I die we're gonna be seeing each other again.
Yeah. So
I love that.
as a whole, this song had just like the package, like great story, great lyrics, great singing, great like everything about it was awesome. So I think this one stands out. I think stylistically among the rest, like this, if this one's it could be in a different genre, it'd be definitely this song for some reason.
Yeah, the Latin Brothers are the psychedelic salsa band.
That's probably why I like him so much.
They're not
Oh,
all psychedelic, but that's like what they have a bunch of unique sounding songs.
it doesn't really sound psychedelic. I guess, and that's the one thing I was gonna ask you was like
It's like exotic, I guess. Like
kind of, but like it didn't like. There's one song on here that kind of I could see has that sort of trippier edge or like makes you kind of trance out a little bit because that's the whole point to me of what psychedelic means as opposed to just like throwing some weird effects, Tame Impala-ing the song, but but like it's the more the mood of it and the feel minus the specific stylized psychedelic sounds that you normally think of. But I didn't really get too much. But I mean, when you mentioned that in this song, it's I mean I like the song more, but like it still doesn't give me that feeling. I guess in terms of Jesus, almost lost my voice. I feel like I'm getting sick. My throat's starting to hurt. Gee, I'm gonna talk my lungs out before I start sounding like shit. I feel like this one, like the aura of it, was more trippy than the actual physical sound of it, and especially with you telling me about the lyrics. So, in a sense, I feel like okay, that could kind of fit, but just not really how it sounds. But again, who gives a fuck? It's a great song. Um,
right. I did not know if that was gonna be your favorite song. I didn't know what it was gonna be. Um,
yeah, it's definitely like I said, it would have been uh, fucking. It would have been Campiña, but it is this one. The
Campiña
next,
is pretty epic.
yeah, the
Are
next
those
song,
going to the playlist, bro?
huh?
Are those going to the playlist?
I know this one is Esqueleto. That's definitely going on because I like that.
It means the
Um,
skeleton.
the skeleton.
I love
Ave.
that word, esqueleto.
It is fun. It just kind of rolls off the tongue.
It does,
Um,
yeah.
the next one, Ave Maria Lola. This song was really catchy, and
Lola, Lola.
yeah, it was
It was with
very
the
fucking
beat.
catchy.
It went so well. Like the lyrics just fit so like you can't sing this music in English. It just doesn't work. Like
Well, yeah,
I've heard salsa where they sing in English. I'm just like this just is bad.
Yeah, I mean, some things just don't translate, and you just have to keep them originally, and this is one of them. My only issue with this song is that and this is more towards the beginning. They kind of brought it back a little bit in the end. Like some of the background drum rhythms that they were doing, they just sound like they were randomly banging on notes or like a sound check. Like I was like, what the fuck are they doing? It sounds like they were like dicking around or like trying to like create a polyrhythm or do something weird, but they just like stopped. They like hit a couple notes and stopped like off rhythm. I was like, what the fuck are they doing? Um, but yeah, overall, the song was nice and it was catchy. But just like those random little weird drum things, I was like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
Um,
I love when like the full on like Montuno comes at like the ends.
yeah,
I thought that just worked. I'm like, yes, that's just that crescendo, and then you finally unleash like the full salsa experience. I was like, that's perfect.
yeah. Like I said, the song was great. You know, minus what I just said.
Right.
The next
Right.
one, regresa pronto.
It
Uh,
means come back soon
come back soon.
or return soon.
No, thank you. So this one I don't really get too much from. Although the coolest part was they had the piano mimic a bass, like with the low note rhythm that they did. That was nice.
Oh, I don't
Um,
know. Huh, I need to notice that. Okay, sorry.
yeah,
I
it's.
need
I
to.
thought it was, and I think it's piano. It sounds like the low notes on a piano. Like I thought it was bass originally. Like oh, it's a cool little thumping, bass rhythm. But it sounds like it's piano, which is nice.
Right.
A little
Good.
creative. Um, the vocals I think are just a little bit lacking on this one. I don't know. This didn't really capture.
It's kind of a simp song, but
Well, there's why.
like so this is what it's called. So this is like kind of this is salsa romántica or salsa sensual, like just sensual salsa.
hmm
But I call this kind of music sad boy salsa,
Interesting.
just because it's really like sad.
I get.
Like it doesn't really sound uplifting, I guess.
It doesn't sound uplifting, but Jesus Christ, uplifting, but it doesn't sound like sad to me either. It just kind of sounds neutral, I guess.
Mm.
But if it's simp salsa, everything's a sad day. Um,
This is sad boy salsa, dude. Like this is what you listen to when you break up.
really?
Especially oh yeah.
Huh?
But then when you get over the breakup, that's when you listen to Oscar de Leon because all of his songs are just about like, yeah, I don't need you anymore. Like go away.
Well, don't be
That
foreshadowing here, but interesting.
because like that's what Yorara's like you shall cry. He's like you're gonna cry. Like you're gonna miss me. And he's just playing his bass, just chilling. um. Oh, but I
Fucking
forgot to
Nick Dome,
mention
man.
his other song "Ael." That the lyrics in that song are like a great because the whole song is just him, like it's just a tribute to his dad
Hmm.
and how he was just like such a hardworking man and how he's so and like how it was just so like he felt like a proud man to see his dad with his wife happy and
Right?
everything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right after like everything that happened to him and how hard he worked through life and how like all the battles he went through. Um,
It's a nice little tribute. Simping for your dad as opposed to, you know.
you can simp for your dad or your mom because like in that situation it actually is earned, right?
It's like you
Because
don't
these
gotta.
people, right? Because these people gave birth to you, whereas like this girl you're simping for does nothing for you, and in fact like makes your life worse and is taking stuff from you and giving nothing in return.
You don't gotta pay your dad money to give you comfort.
Right, exactly, because your dad's is just awesome and he's a Chad. And that's why Oscar de Leon is awesome because he recognizes that and he makes a badass song about it, about how awesome his dad was. So that's why I'm like, yeah, Oscar de Leon, you get a huge thumbs up from me.
2 thumbs up, Willie Z.
Yes.
The next one, fucking nada puedo hacer. This one,
I nothing can I do or I can't do anything.
yeah, making music is
An-
one of them. If I fucking hated the vocal rhythm in this so much, it's like,
Another Sim song, dude.
oh god, it fucking sounded like it. It sounds like he just tried so fucking hard to come up with a fast rhythm, just for anything, and it did not match the song. It just sounded like gibberish. I was like, what the fuck is he trying to do? It was so
Hmm.
annoying. God, it made me
Um,
so mad. And the
I don't
instruments,
know.
I mean, the instruments sounded the same as all the others before, so it's like there wasn't anything too different for me to comment on the instruments. But dude, his fucking vocal rhythm was just, God, there's
Do
nothing
you?
to latch onto.
I mean, I liked it, but do you at least agree that the emotions in these two songs were much more earned than in Persona Ideal? Do you at
Yeah,
least admit that?
it didn't sound like it was forced emotion. It just didn't sound like they like are good vocalists. It sounded like technically they're
Hmm.
not great. Because like his rhythm, I mean, the notes were fine. They didn't really sound off in any regard, but just his fucking rhythm is terrible.
Well, so he's playing drums like he and singing at the same time. Um,
I
so
mean,
and it,
Mastodon
he.
does that. They do fine with rhythm.
No, I know. I'm not using that as an excuse. But I was just like giving more information about the group. So that's Diego Galé, which is why the group is called Grupo Galé. Um,
So he named his
s-
fucking name for the group. That's another problem.
he he was actually I think part of Grupo Nietzsche at some point, and then he made his own thing.
Well,
Um, well, so he did that. And a lot of the songs he doesn't even sing. He just plays the drums. Like if I showed you a lot more of their songs, you'd see that. Oh wait, that's a different guy singing. And a lot of they use a bunch of different voices actually.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, that album that Nada Puede Ser comes from, I'd actually really like to show you that album because that's one of my favorite salsa albums ever.
Yeah,
Um,
if it doesn't have him singing this bullshit on it, I would probably enjoy it. What the fuck?
why is it really that
It's
bad?
so off. Like it doesn't hold like any like it's just like scatting, but not like cool. I can't explain it. Like he just didn't hit any sort of rhythmic mark. He just like kept changing it randomly, and then like it was just like like I don't know. And maybe the fact that it was in Spanish too, like it just made it more difficult to catch what he was trying to do. But it just sounded like he fucking like overdubbed it, is what it sounded like, and it just didn't follow any rhythm.
When you understand Spanish, it just kind of does make more sense.
Yeah, but like I mean, how many songs have I listened to in Spanish where the vocalists were really good and had good rhythm? Like that's like
But
I
like
don't
it
know.
did have good rhythm though. I don't know. There's not really much I could do to convince you. Um.
I
Anyway,
I'm
do you have
trying to.
anything more to say about Nada Puede Ser?
I think I'll close it with this. It just I don't know. I feel like I'm just gonna say the same thing again. But besides that, it was fine. It was not a bad song. I don't
It is
know.
another sad boy salsa song. Um,
He was pretty sad.
but what is that your least favorite one?
On the track or on the playlist, yeah.
Damn. Okay, maybe I should have picked a better song.
It's mainly his vocals, man. Like it's just like he just I don't I want to get in their head and like figure out because like sometimes like musicians they take risks, so they do something experimental and it just doesn't work. But like you can kind of tell what they're going for. I couldn't tell what he was trying to go for. Like was he trying to go for a fast like freeform poem style, or was he trying to like rap?
I
Is he trying to like
guess.
he just but he didn't do anything on like it was just so off. Like he didn't like pick a consist not a consistent rhythm, but like he just it just I don't know. Just he just didn't do it. He just did random bullshit. Fucking.
And it works. You just chill, dude. You just roll with it.
I was trying to, but like it just like I'm so rhythmic in my head, so it's like I was trying to fucking get into it because like there's some I mean I don't really like the freeform style anyway, but like some artists make it kind of cool where they don't follow the rhythm of the music, they just make something up over top, and sometimes it works and sometimes it's just way off.
In this case,
I hate
it
it when rappers
works.
do it. Rappers do that shit a lot where like they'll have a consistent beat and then like their hooks will be fine, but their verses are just completely off. They try to make up their own rhythm over top of the song and it just doesn't flow. So like they're notorious for doing that shit.
Okay.
So that's what it
Um,
sounded like was like a rapper's attempt to do salsa, I guess.
So next up,
Hmm.
we have a song by an irrelevant podcast alum,
Oh.
Mark Anthony.
Ah. This makes more sense now.
Right, so we've talked about him. So what did you think about Contra la Corriente?
I didn't. So I have two yin and yang, feelings on this song. The actual music side, I liked. The production side was pretty like I don't know how to say it without just basically like non-existent. It sounded like first of all the mix was fucking all over the place. It sounds like they found random stock sounds and then just put them at increasingly louder volumes throughout the song, and then when they play together it just fucking clipped the shit out of you and it just overpowered the whole. So it's like I don't know what the fuck they were smoking, but they fucked all the levels up on this song. But the actual song was good. Like the sounds were kind of cool, but again, it sounds like they just like downloaded a plugin and fucking picked the first thing they saw and then just made it really loud for no reason. It's like what the fuck? They did not mix anything in this song. They just recorded all
Well,
the same shit at the same time.
so if you ignore all that, well, because like I guess I don't really notice that as much, but so I don't really have much to say in that regard. But I just absolutely adore the part in the song, like in the end, where like I think it's like three people singing, or it's like a small group of people, like the yo lucho, all that stuff. I just think that's great because it reminds me a lot of that like kind of like um, like 40s and 50s like doo wop music.
Yeah.
It had that same kind of rhythm and stuff like that, and that harmony. I was like, oh, that's so good. It sounds so nice. Yeah.
Yeah, no, like I said, the actual Jesus. Ugh. Dude, my fucking throat's getting destroyed. I'm getting deep throat over here, bro. I'm getting sick.
Um. Yeah. That. So then you're gonna compensate for that by listening to Sad Boy Salsa.
That is going to be an overcorrection. However, this fucking but no, I like the song. The song itself
It's
is
like,
great.
it's like, what's the most downhearted thing you've ever done? I got deep throated, and then I listened to Sad Boy Salsa afterwards.
Put it for my
That's the
LinkedIn bio.
that that's the most downbeat thing I've ever done in my life.
If this is not rock bottom, I'm scared for what is. But yeah, I
Huh.
mean, not much more to say about that one. It's nice. The
I
next
like
song,
um
Sandra Mora.
yeah.
I actually surprisingly like this song. The violin esque kind of orchestral string instrument with the flute melody was really nice, and the la 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 part was catchy.
Yeah, so this is the psychedelic salsa song.
Okay, I guess I can
Um
kind of see that now, like reflecting back on it. But
it is right, like it's definitely not I think it's the most unique of all of the songs on this list. It
yeah,
doesn't really fit into any of them except for maybe the next one, but yeah, it's very trippy with like the la la las and like the violin where it seems so off at first, like the violin and salsa, but then it just kind of you just kind of go with it and it works.
I like it. I like most string, except for like when people do the twangy fiddle thing. I'm not really too much of a fan of that, but I love cello and violin. So I thought it was, especially when they mix it with flute. I think flute mixed with a lot of instruments makes a really cool
Yeah,
sound. I have to play with that and see if that sounds cool with an electric guitar, like doing like a heavier rhythm and matching the melody with the flute. That might sound kind of cool. Um,
maybe yeah, the flute is really interesting.
mm-hmm.
Um it's like that's actually a big difference between Latin jazz and American jazz is the flute. Latin jazz loves the flute.
Oh yeah,
The Latin brothers do too, hence the name. um yeah, I just think overall it's just a very vibe song. Like I put it in the same category as like not necessarily because Campina. This is a very different style than Campina, but um that's the thing because like the Latin brothers are just very unique. They're different than like most salsa.
right.
Um yeah, I'd love to show you more of their stuff. I think you'd think they're very interesting.
Yeah, I think they may make. Jeez, man, this is not a good night. I think they make interesting songs, but Yeah. I guess like in terms of psychedelic or more experimental, I guess and objectively no, but in terms of the other salsa songs, yeah. They definitely give you a variety of different sounds and a little bit different feel, especially with the mood of the song. So I can definitely see from that standpoint how that could be psychedelic salsa. But that is cool. I do like that.
Man, it's very entrancing.
Yeah.
Like I love like the in the beginning you know, like the la 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 and all that stuff, and then when like the Montuno starts kicking in, it like all of the other sounds just like drown out. Like it just they completely go away,
Right.
and then it's only the Montuno, right? And then like just all the other stuff comes in, and it's just like the very like I don't know, like almost creepy kind of violin. It's just it's a very interesting sound and vibe that it like invokes, right?
Hmm.
But I love the mixing and like the sounds and when this comes in, when that leaves and stuff like that. They do a really good job at that, the Latin Brothers.
Yeah. No. They also would. They seem like a band that or a group that'd be really fun to see live too.
Oh yeah. Well, they're not together anymore.
Uh, the best ones usually aren't. Shame enough.
Yeah, a lot of the guys just did solo stuff. Yeah. Well, also like the group changed like so much throughout the years. Like people left, people like came, people stayed, and then they came back, and all like it's a very like they're not as like to get like tight knit as a band as other bands.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh.
I mean that's musicians are temperamental, so and usually the best ones that always fucking have some bullshit going on. So that's always an indicator of great music is broken people.
Right. Yeah, we
But
talked about that.
yeah, the next song, Las. God, I'm not gonna fucking. I don't know why. Like I feel like I can pronounce majority of Spanish words semi right, but for some reason one just shut down my brain. Las Cananuelas.
Well, so that's actually a typo. The N is supposed to be a B, so it's Las Cabañuelas,
Okay.
which actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's like some
Wait,
ancient,
was
like
that my
Native
typo
American.
or a typo on the song
No,
itself?
it's a typo on Apple Music.
Oh, okay.
Like that's just, or on that album specifically. Like that's just what the song. That's like what it says the song is.
Coming with this. Okay.
But so I think it's like some ancient like indigenous way of like telling the weather or like predicting the weather. It's really like hold on, let me see what it is again. I want to say that's what it is, and I read about it and it was really interesting. Okay, hold on.
We need the Jeopardy theme song.
Right. Because it's all in Spanish, but like I want to just I don't feel like translating it to you, so I need to just get what the English version is. Like
Well,
just to explain what it is. Okay, so las cabañuelas, also cabañuelas or cabañuelas or sorry, were a method of forecasting the weather practiced throughout the Hispanic diaspora. It is a traditional form of weather prediction dating back many centuries in Spain. Okay, so I was wrong. It is Spanish, not indigenous.
hmm.
Las Cabañuelas is practiced throughout Mexico, South America, including the Caribbean, and even parts of Africa. There were previously territories of Spain. In Spain, the so-called experts cabañuelistas were organized in the Asociación Cultural Española de Cabañuelas y Astrometeorología. Whatever. Um, the Cabañuelistas in Spain claim that Cabañuelas is an empirical science and that its origin is thousands of years old when the only reference of the time was the moon. Even the times that Egyptians used to measure the levels of the Nile waters, the Sirius star, and that the old base of Cabañuelas was measured being August 1st. Okay, methodology. Um, okay, wait. Methodology. Hold on.
I get the
Okay.
premise.
But yeah, it's just some old way of telling the weather. Okay. But I just think that that's cool. Like I love their. You see, the Latin Brothers have like the best lyrics. They have the best things that the songs are about. Um, because I mean most of the songs are just about relationships,
Right.
Um, but then or just drama, but then this one is just like there's like yeah, the ancient way of telling the weather, bro. Like that's what we're gonna write a song about.
So what was the um like what were the lyrics? Like what did they tie that title into? Like what did they say?
All right, so let me look at them because sometimes like I just get lost in the music. I forget what the lyrics are. How is it possible to draw the weather? Um, all right. So he's saying like he picked up like a paintbrush and he painted a rainbow um to remember like of that moment with you. Okay, so fuck, it is about a relationship. Um, hold on.
Why don't we circle back? It's taking too long.
Fuck yeah, okay.
Anyway,
Because I well yeah, so that's what it's about. But
sick.
that's still interesting though. I love how they still tie that into like a relationship and they make it in an interesting way.
Yeah, it is cool. I've never even heard of that. I kind of want to research it and see like what the theories are and what they would do to predict it. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
No idea. So for this song, I feel like the bass didn't really fit. The rhythm felt slightly too slow, and the notes were a little bit off, a little bit more dissonant than it probably needed to be. But however, the plucked slash piano, violin, trumpet melody that they kept interchanging was really cool. Like they would just introduce one instrument after the other simultaneously. That was a nice touch.
Yeah. And also like the ending, like those ending, like just go out with a bang thing. This song goes out with a bang.
Yeah, it's a great. It's like if your Fourth of July ending finale.
Yeah, that makes me think of like Pablo and the Boys. Just like I'm like, that's definitely what they were listening to.
Yeah, they. So this is the Colombian. These last two songs, I assume, because the last song is Ben Medellin.
Yeah, yeah, the Latin Brothers are Colombian.
Okay.
See, Colombia's got the best music, man.
Yeah, I feel like most of the music that I've liked Latin inspired have been from Colombia or Brazil. I like Tim Maya because he's Brazilian, right?
He is. Does that count as Latin though?
I think it has a Latin flair to it. I mean, even though he's more
So yeah, actually
alternative,
that is
but
true.
like
Yeah.
he's more Western sounding of the music that's Latin, but he definitely has the style in there. But yeah, so for
Yeah.
Vena
Um,
Medellin,
and then
so
sorry,
oh you go.
And then Mark Anthony is just some asshole from New York.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Hate New Yorkers.
Yeah, but he is originally Puerto Rican. Yeah, fuck them too.
I've had very mixed like results mingling with Puerto Ricans.
Well, there's not that many here. I
I
I
know, and that's
remember.
why it's damning because not that I have to paint a generalized, broad picture from the few that I've known,
Right.
which I don't want to do, but I do want to do because it's a pattern.
Yeah.
But the last song, Vena Medellin, it felt like so. This is the one that I was saying that I could see is the most psychedelic out of it because mainly like
Oh,
the
okay.
the constant like 16th note rhythm that's going up and down and up and down kind of gave me that trancey sort of spaced out vibe so you can just kind of get lost to dancing. It felt like people could twirl to it for eternity is kind of the vibe that I got. So like that in itself giving me that mental image was making it trippy too. And then also like the screaming trumpet stabs kind of pull you back in and out. You know what I mean?
Ah, okay. So I
So
guess
yeah.
in that sense it is, yeah. Even though it's still, I think, still pretty much just sounds like a regular salsa song.
Yeah, so that's what I thought was going to be like the psychedelic was like using the same types of rhythms and notes, but they organize them in that way to where it's supposed to entrance you, as opposed to just having like trippy sounding effects on the instruments itself.
But yeah, it really does, because the whole song is just like an anthem for the city of Medellin,
Mm-hmm.
and he's just saying like, "Come to Medellin, like come see how awesome our city is, like how
Yeah.
we're the best." It's such like I'm sure they've played this in like soccer ads and stuff like that.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I definitely got that vibe. Well, I guess I didn't really get an anthem vibe. It didn't sound anthem. Well, I guess maybe now that you say that, listening
that
back to it, it kind of
ending that
does.
really
Yeah,
does sound, yeah, like
yeah,
the, and
yeah,
also like how he's, oh, and like that bridge dude before he goes out and sings like the final thing. Oh, the lyrics on that, I gotta just like, because I love that, you know how like we assign like ideas and things like to cities, like it's the city of this or that, you know.
right.
And it's like we know all that, you know, like Paris is the city of love and stuff like that, or you know, like what is, like, you know, Philadelphia is the city of brotherly love or whatever it is or whatnot, you know, like Sin City is Las Vegas or whatnot. But like I like, you know, we're not familiar with that kind of stuff for like Spanish cities, I guess. um you know, we just figure like, oh, it's just, you know, some like Latin American Spanish place, cool. Cool enough, you know.
Yeah, you,
um
you can visualize the colors. You know.
right, very bright and vibrant, and a lot of fedoras, right?
Yeah, and linen
Exactly.
shirts.
Yeah, and a lot of churches, a lot of you know, like that you know exactly what Spanish architecture looks like.
Oh yeah.
But so he's saying, let me pull it up. So, we are the land of flowers. We've got salsa, and a good rhythm to dance to, with beautiful women in the eternal spring. I invite you to meet Medellin. Medellin, Medellin, Medellin.
Dude, I was talking to I don't remember where the fuck I was talking, but I was talking to someone from Colombia, and they were saying how they have, because I'm always interested in hearing people's stereotypes of their country, or them making jokes about how we make jokes about people from West Virginia, kind of the same shit, like who is the people they make fun of. Um,
Yeah.
and I can't remember what they were saying, but they're saying like basically the city to the south in Colombia, they make fun of how they dance. Like they say they have no rhythm. Um, I really wish I could
What?
fucking remember the name, but I can't for the life of me.
I'm
Um,
pulling up. Hold up. I'm pulling up. See, like I'm doing like the Jamie thing and like Joe Rogan where he has to like look up everything forever. So let me see.
yeah, Google that,
It
Will.
it's got to be okay. Columbia map.
I don't. I'm not gonna remember the name. It's been
Do you
fucking.
remember what it starts with?
No, I don't. But I know it was like to the south part of the country.
All right. Yeah, because a big, like half of the country is just like uninhabitable because it's like the Amazon.
Right.
um, yeah, literally, like if you look at the map, there's like no roads on like the second half, like the
Yeah.
lower half. It's but is it? It's not Cali, is it?
Maybe.
Is
No,
it? Is
I
it
don't.
Pasto?
I think it's Pasto. That sounds. It might not be. So don't, people that are from there don't get offended, or do get offended. I don't really give a fuck. But I don't know if that was that one for sure. But it sounds like it could be, because they were talking about Cali, but I can't remember what they said about it. I do remember she said about Medellin, how like they are there to seduce everyone, just like in the way that they talk.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It's just
And to
like
sell
a
them
like
cocaine.
like the most beautiful people in Colombia are from Medellin, or go there at least. Um,
Yeah, that's what my buddy explained to me because his, so he's Guatemalan, but his wife is Colombian and he knows all the Colombian stuff, right? He
hmm
was telling me, so like Medellin is like where all the beautiful stuff is,
yeah,
but he said Cali is like where all the hot stuff is.
it's where all the depraved, so
Um
the red light districts go down.
right, so he said if you want like a beautiful woman, you go to Medellin, but if you want like a hot, like you know, like the whole like big booty Latina nonsense, like that's where you go.
Interesting.
So Cali is more like it's trashier and whatnot. From what I heard from him, all right. So if anyone gets offended by that, I really do apologize. I don't know, but this is just from what I've heard.
Yeah, all the
Um,
sluts in Cali, fucking don't get mad.
hey, dude. I mean, Pacho Herrera was gay, so I don't know.
Oh, it's right. He was the Cali cartel. He embodied that well.
Yeah, and then Pablo was Medellin.
He was not a beautiful man.
Um, I actually think he was.
He had a beautiful mustache. The real life, maybe the actor, but not the fucking real life version of Pablo. He looks like a car salesman.
Oh, oh no, I'm talking about the in the show.
Yeah, no, yeah, obviously because it's a fucking show, but no, the real life Pablo Escobar.
I mean, I saw a picture from when he was younger, and it was kind of.
Is
But
he
yeah,
frothing you a
when
little bit? You feeling a little excited?
no, because that's not me. um, but yeah, he really does look like a no. But
Well,
I
you are
just
the
I
one calling dudes hot, so maybe Cali is the city for you.
well, I can recognize like things that are aesthetically pleasing. I don't. That doesn't mean I need to be sexually attracted to it.
I know. It's just the fact that you
Well,
call it
so
that. I get the
anyways,
premise. I
well
promise I do.
that's just for comedic punch because I know people would just be like, wait, what the fuck?
You did not. No, I'm not accepting that. You did not start that as comedic punch because you had no idea when you said that in the fucking store and we're all giving you shit for it. You're like, there's no distinction. And like, no, there is a distinction. There's a difference between finding something aesthetically pleasing and calling someone hot. One is sexually attractive, the other is recognizing the beauty.
Well, so yeah, what am I gonna say? He's beautiful? No.
No, God. He's.
So anyways, um, so wait, what the
Mm-hmm.
fuck were we even talking about?
I was trying to remember what city this girl was talking about that they can't dance in Colombia or they dance like squares. I can't quite remember what she said, but it's basically like,
Damn. Oh, wait, and I was just about like the thing I can't get over about Pablo Escobar because it's just so hilarious is like the clothes he wears.
yeah.
Like those jeans and then like apple bottom jeans.
And his
Oh
polos,
man.
man, his fucking polos.
It's like his polos, his jeans, and like his Nike Air Monarchs. I'm like,
It's
what? I don't even know if they're Nike Air Monarchs, but they look like they are.
something, some white shoe.
He just looks so goofy.
Fuck, man.
Like he totally is like the guy like the I need you to sell you my cocaine. you know?
But then he looks like he's gonna go play with a Nerf gun.
Right, it's really odd. I mean, sometimes he did dress well. But a lot of times he just I don't know. It's just it's funny though.
Oh, and another, while that I'm on this topic, another stereotype that she told me was that maybe this was like an island to the north or somewhere in the north part, but basically, like I was trying to, I couldn't quite understand what she was trying to tell me. She was either like they're rumored to have big dicks or they fuck like donkeys or something like that. It was burro something. Like they had some donkey euphemism for these dudes, and I couldn't tell if it was a compliment or an insult.
An island?
I can't. It may have been an island, or it may have been just a north part of Colombia. I have no. It was a long ass time ago, but it was very strange. So it was. It's like, are they? Is it a compliment or not? Like, do they
Huh.
fuck like donkeys? Do they have like massive like horse cocks? Like, I don't know what you're trying to say.
Yeah, it's weird. But yeah, so anyway, this song is epic. And especially, yeah, I could literally dance to this forever. It's so great. Um and they played this like so they made a 20-year anniversary song where they just mashed up like a bunch of their songs in one song. And then this was the last song and just the way they played it was so great, like the transition and everything. Yeah.
Cool, man. I like this playlist a lot. I think.
But did you like Medellin? Like
Yeah,
what
I
did
did. I
like
like
did
the song.
okay. Yeah, no, that's one of my favorites on the playlist. For
Yeah.
2022, that was my most listened to song.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, that
You do
I
be
mean,
vibing.
I do be vibing to this music, dude. Like when I was listening to this just for podcast sake, like going to the gym, I was like, "Oh yeah, dude, I am gonna go to Medellin."
I would like to go to Colombia.
Yeah, dude, I want to see all like the churches over there. They have a bunch. They have like some underground churches I saw. They really look interesting.
Like cave ones.
Yeah, and they have a bunch of well, the urban churches too, and then you can see the museum like where like they had the Medellin cartel and everything. I've heard the people are very nice.
Dude, I have
Um,
got to go get some water. My fucking voice is dying. Fucking monologue for 10 seconds. Hold on.
man,
Yeah, it's on you now, bitch. It's not so easy. Go ahead, start.
fuck. What am I gonna talk about? About how great salsa music is and how it's like the best genre of music to like ever exist. It's the most palatable genre of music. It's the most, I don't know, like it's the most fun type of music. Um, it just has that like ethnic flair to it. It's like a cultural symbol, you know, but it also is just kind of generally palatable for most people. Um, the Montunos are just so catchy and just goosebump inducing.
All right, I'm
Um,
back. Fuck, dude, I was gonna
fuck,
die.
I was getting good, man.
Well, I'm glad I cut you off before your limelight. So,
Well, so anyways, I love looking at maps, dude. I love cartography so much.
me too. And it makes it even funnier when you realize that most Americans don't know where the fuck any country is, or even where our own country is, which is interesting.
I know. Have you? I saw this thing. It was like average number of languages spoken per country. America was like point 0.8.
Point
So,
eight, because they can barely
well,
speak fucking English.
yeah, we can't even crack one. Like,
Although
like
I would say like that's
really?
I don't know though, because how do they measure that? Because I feel like America, how many people speak multiple different languages, and because they're from everywhere in the world. Especially like if you go to New York, you hear so many different types of languages being spoken. So I don't even know how they measure that. Like some like native
It's
speakers, like people like that are born in America, or people that just live here.
even people that live here. Like most people that like, depending on what time you immigrated, like you're pretty assimilated, so you didn't really speak the mother tongue anymore.
Hmm.
But yeah, but a lot of that I'm sure is just like Southern people that, that are stupid.
Fucking.
Um, um, and I hate to fulfill like the Yankee like Northern American like I look down on Southern people thing, but it's kind of true.
You're fucking from
Um,
Louisiana, bro.
that is true, but I'm not from like the southern country part of Louisiana. I mean, I kind of am, but not really. It's kind of complicated. There's more to it than that, bro. It's not black and white.
I feel like it's a lot of black and white in Louisiana, mainly.
It is, yeah. Especially New Orleans.
TBH.
Yep.
But no,
So
I get what you're trying
anyways,
to say.
so what do you give this out of 10? As a playlist, as just an experience, how fun it is, how enjoy like just overall, what is the Jason Salsa recommendation get?
Do you remember what I gave the last one?
I think you gave it an 8. Yeah, you gave it an 8.
Damn. I don't. I think that's kind of high because I enjoy this more than. I feel like I want to reverse my number from last time and give it a 7, and then I'm gonna give this one an 8.
Okay. Well, either way, they're both still good.
Yeah, I just enjoy this one a little bit more. I think I just like this genre more as a whole. Um,
Man, I thought you'd like Foho any day of the week. I thought you'd prefer that over this.
nah, I still would listen to this over that.
Oh, okay. Just like as a, I need something to entertain myself. Let's just listen to that.
Well, when I think of Spanish culture, besides mariachi, this is legitimately what I think of, and I think this is what's portrayed, in the media about a lot of Spanish countries is salsa music, and it's just fun.
Yeah,
Like it's just a fun time,
it
and
is fun. It's very goosebump inducing, dude.
yeah, and especially because like I don't know, I think it's also the fact that growing up in this area with a lot of Spanish influence. It's not what people listen to mainly, but I think it's like it's more of a cultural thing. It's like you go into like most local places, and if they're not blasting a church sermon, they're usually playing something like this.
Right.
um,
Yeah.
but not in like the chain. Obviously, they're playing the shit in the chains too. That's not what I'm talking about. But like more of the local places, local babusa places, local Spanish, Mexican restaurants, whatever have you.
Yeah.
Um, so, but yeah, no, I enjoyed this one a little bit more.
Alrighty. Oh, that was good.
Um, I'm trying to think of the direction that I want to go in for the next recommendation. I kind of want to 180 you with something really stupid, but then again, I kind of don't want to just derail you and actually have something thought provoking. I feel like you don't really analyze um, too heavily into some of the songs, so I'm trying to find ones that just innately sound good.
Okay.
But cross that bridge. But no, man. This is probably the most Latin music I've ever listened to in my life, all in one sitting,
I'm gonna
month
sit
after
down
month.
for an hour and listen to Latin music, dude. Cause it's fun. It's just so it's perfect. Like there's no other genre I'd rather just listen to when I'm driving in the car. It just like it works in every context. This song salsa where I could work out to it. It's so good.
Are you one of those people that, like, when you're driving with your family, you just like force your music on everyone? You always have to play the music in the car. Are you that guy?
If I'm not driving, no, I don't really care.
Okay, because I just have that, I just have that energy of you in my head. You're just like, all right, let me just grab this aux cord while you're in the back seat and just fuck everyone's day up.
No, everyone needs to understand the intricacy
Yeah,
of
I
the.
get that vibe from you. I don't know why. And your family's like, all right, we support you because we can't not.
um, no, sometimes I get the aux, but really no. It's like especially if it's the whole family, it just doesn't really work like that.
Yeah. I just imagine it's like there's like five of you sitting in one car going to church or something, and you're the only one like bobbing your head and like shaking your shoulders. Everyone's just kind of staring.
I'm just like, yeah, baby, and then it's just it's like
Oh
the
fuck.
classic like dad like playing his music, and then
Yeah.
everyone else is like, Dad, stop.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, come on, you gotta dance. And everyone's like, no.
Yeah, you totally give me that vibe. But
I'm probably gonna be that dad when I'm a dad, but
you're gonna be a fucking interesting father. Like you're gonna mix like tradition with modern like culture. It's gonna be really funny. Your kid's gonna be fucking really weird. He's gonna grow up in and I can't even imagine what life is gonna be like. 5 years or however long you want to have a child. So like you're gonna raise him in a really weird way in an already weird world. So I'm kind of looking
yeah,
forward to it.
it's gonna be fun, man.
I heard you're trying to take an international trip, huh?
Yes, sir.
You got any prospects, or are you gonna brave it alone?
um, can we just like not talk about this, please?
On your way. You're on your way to that card, that glorious card.
Oh yes. Um, very much on the way for the
Oh
wi-
fucking god, dude!
for the Wilitos.
I hope you know this is out of like love because dude, fucking you kill me, bro. You just do. You
I
fucking.
know I do. I kill a lot of people,
I
dude.
can't help it. You just fucking. There's just a prime target for all the shit that I throw at you. You do it to
Yeah,
yourself, man.
I know I do. I very much do it to myself.
Fucking anyways.
So yeah. Anyways, we should just go to Colombia, dude. Fuck it.
I we should start a travel vlog. I would like to. That would be really fun.
What was that like that Passport Boys thing?
What?
Isn't that like
Passport boys.
essentially what I'm? Remember, isn't that essentially what I'm doing? It's like that trend. It was that trend on social media where everyone's like, "Hey, do you want like if are you sick of Western women? Just get your passport and then just
Oh
go
yeah.
to. It's like go to Medellin, Colombia. It's like, do
Yeah,
you
go
want
to
a big
Russia. Go to the Philippines. Go to all the submissive woman countries and get you one.
right? It's like, do you want a big booty Latina? Just go to book a trip to Medellin, Colombia, and
Hell
then
yeah,
it's just
dude.
like, well, that is cool. I would do that, but
Dude, I'm telling
I
you, you'd be
think
perfect for 90 Day Fiance.
isn't that wait? You said it's like they just go to another country. And
They pretty and sometimes it's through a matchmaker, but they basically like meet some girl or guy online from a different country and they fall in love and I'm sure most of it's scripted, so they like kind of egg them on to do some bullshit, but they obviously never work, and it's the whole show is just them fighting and all that shit and how the complications of inter-country relationships or international relationships I should fuck me. Um, but no, dude, you're prime suspect for it. Your opinions on cable TV would be fucking wild.
about what?
You get viral about your views on things. I feel like would be
Oh, that. Yeah.
TLC would
Okay.
love you, dude.
Oh
They
yeah,
they
dude.
paint you as like the Antichrist, but like you would get top ratings. You'd be the new Big Ed.
Yeah. Like the new Alex Jones.
But no, the Passport Bros thing, like that shit is so fucking cringe. Like it's one thing if you like fall in love with somebody wherever they are in the world, but like if you fail dating here and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go outside where they're not westernized, it's like, bro, you have nothing to build off of. You're just doing it for money, or not doing it for money. Like you're only if you have the money to fucking date a girl that's foreign and wants to be submissive to you, you better have money.
But yeah, it's like they have a point, but I think they're doing it for the wrong reason.
No, they just want people to fucking just. They just want, like we were talking about last time. They just want to be lazy and don't want people to bitch at them. But then they realize that women from these countries have the worst fucking temper that known to man, more than here. So it's like, yeah, you're gonna fucking have a submissive Russian wife. Good luck. Fucking.
Dude, no, but like Russian women are fucking huge.
What do you mean huge? Like tall or just fat?
No, they're like huge, like they're jacked.
Oh yeah, dude, they'll fucking beat the shit out of you. You kidding me? Submissive.
Yeah. You'll be submissive to her. That Russian woman, yeah.
And don't get us started on Latin women. You want a submissive Colombian girlfriend? She'll fucking stab you, bro. Get the fuck out of here.
Exactly, bro.
That's why I don't understand. I mean, obviously, like, women can be submissive and dominant in any fucking country, obviously, but, like, these people are picking these girls that are neither. Neither submissive or neither genuine. But no, the whole concept is fucking stupid. And like you can always tell, like, because like when you ask them, why did their relationships fail, they can't really elaborate, because if they do elaborate, they know they're gonna get in trouble. So they just dance around and play. They're like, well, I just can't find anyone with my values. Like, what are your values? Like, well, women are just too westernized, and you're like, what does that mean? And like they're just trying to say like that no one listens to me because they have no reason to.
No, right. And it's like I have the same sentiment, but it's like I actually like genuinely can't find anyone here. Like
That's because
I know it sounds crazy, but it's always just like cuz like I always constantly got the questions like how do you not have a girlfriend or like you can't just like there's no one at church. I'm like of course there's people at church and there's people everywhere, but it's just I'm a very picky person, right? When it comes to everything, like food, movie, music, everything, right? People even. So it's like to find everyone with my super complicated values, it's not really easy to find. But like top on that, it's like even if I did like I would find other people like that, but then they would either just be like they're too old, too young, they already have boyfriends, or like they're just doing too much with their life. I'm like, yeah, that just kind of turns me off, and just never really. I there was just never really
doing
found
too
anyone.
much with their life.
Well, yeah, I don't want to date someone who wants to be an engineer, and it's
Oh
like,
god.
so I'm like, that's just I don't know, like that's too much time taken away from what's like actually important in my opinion, and we already talked about that.
You, I'm trying to. I don't know. I mean, the reality is there's somebody fucking anywhere for anyone. So like, it's not the fact that you just try to go elsewhere. Like you can. Like there. Like if you really tried hard enough and long enough, you'll eventually would, because you have no idea what the future holds, right? So, But again, the fact that we're all interconnected so tightly over the internet, like it's easy to fall in love fucking 8,000 miles away or whatever have you, right? That's fine.
That's what I'm doing.
Because you can be picky as you want and more selective on the internet because you can just exclusively look for that shit as opposed to being stuck with whatever's around you where you live. So I get that aspect, but like,
Dude, like
bro,
Babel,
like what?
stuck. Remember you're in Babel, you're just stuck at like the farm with the sheep, dude.
That would suck. Yeah, maybe you should try, maybe you should fucking go online and find a matchmaker if you live in, really isolated parts of the world. But I mean, I don't know. Like,
Most of us don't though. So like, um, yeah.
I feel like, I don't know, like, because like, how much experience have you had actually like going on dates with people and like try as opposed to just like not really, I don't know, vibing with people you might be friends with or someone you just kind of randomly, talk to now and again.
I went on some dates, not many. Um, I don't know. I guess like there was never really a point where it's like this is a date.
The one that
I
I
don't.
remember vividly that you told me was the girl like made a checklist of like pros and cons or something, or like gave you a bunch of standards to follow. I imagine that you're doing the same shit.
So she wasn't saying that about me apparently, because apparently to her it wasn't a date. But then I'm like, no, fuck this, and then it's just like that pissed me
You
off.
got so that's what happened.
There's more to it than that, but kind of,
Oh
yeah.
my god. Maybe you know what? Maybe
Um,
you are destined to just fucking pick your exact match online because that's fucking funny. I would be turned off too, man. If I had that, I mean, I've had
oh,
some bad
you see,
experiences, but like, yeah, if I was in your shoes, fuck it, just skip the middleman. Just fucking find someone that coddles you just right.
right, exactly. And then there's other stuff that I'd rather just tell you off the podcast because it's really personal. But
I'm sure it is.
yeah, and so I'm like, I'm not trying to like find like the perfect because that doesn't exist, right? That's never gonna exist. Like there is always gonna be things you don't like about someone, you know, because that's
Absolutely.
that. Right, exactly. I'm sure there's a ton of things you don't like about me. um,
I don't have a
but
problem with you. I think you're a fucking meme. I
no,
legitimately like.
exactly. So like everyone's flawed. I am extremely flawed, right? Um,
I mean, as long
but
as you're
it
not lying to yourself and you're actually going what you want, and then if that's what it is, then sure. As I've seen people not do that and just fake it because they don't want to be alone. So at least you're not doing that. I feel like that's way worse.
Yeah, cause like, yeah, you mean like the whole like I'm just dating just to be in a relationship kind of thing.
Yeah, or like they lie to themselves, or like a girl's really attractive but completely not their vibe, and they just like, no, she's great, no, she's great. And like, no, bro. Once the sex appeal wears off, you're fucking gonna be arguing all the time. It's not gonna be a vibe. But
Oh yeah, cause like with my girlfriend, it's like, yeah, she's great, but it's like it's cause she actually is great. She's great, she's great. Um, you know,
no, it's a better way to be. I just I don't know. I can't really talk shit because I've met people online. It's just they've been here. You know, I couldn't. The only reason like I have nothing morally against it is just because I couldn't like do something without physical contact. I could not be thousands of miles away or even a couple hundred miles away. Like it just would not work for me. So I don't have like any standing against it besides that. But I just think it's funny how like this is just how the world is, where it's like fuck all these dumbass bitches that we got in America. We're going elsewhere around the world, shopping around to see what we're missing. I just think the concept is funny.
I know, and that's why like I know I've shit on the internet all the time on this podcast, even though like, well, it does, and like I did admit like, yeah, it does allow us to do this podcast and everything, but hey, it also has allowed me to meet my girlfriend, so that's good.
Bro,
That's more than good.
so are you like, never mind. I'm not even, never mind. You obviously don't want to get. I'm not gonna go. Anyways,
Too
but
personal, bro.
I really want to because I mean, think it'd be fucking funny, but I'm not. I'm not. I'm respect your privacy. Um, but I don't know. I more so the fucking 90 Day Fiance shit. I think mostly because most people just want to be on TV, but a lot of it is because people just want to get a green card to come to America. That's really it. It's
Oh
apparent
yeah.
when these like young dudes are fucking these old milfs, or vice versa, just to get over here, or they just need money, or they want a better life, so they think they can stomach being around this fucking boomer. It's hilarious.
Oh, it's a bunch of boomer men going over there.
Well, not all the time. Sometimes it's couples around the same age, but it's the same premise. How like they're so culturally different, it always causes tension, and it's always miscommunications. Like they always don't understand each other, even like not because they're speaking different languages. Obviously, some they speak English a lot of the time, but I mean, one guy he fucking simped hard for this. He looked like some like mouse variants. He was very tiny and bald, and he just went for this girl in Colombia, and he
Mouse variant? What?
he just looked mousy. I can't
Let
explain
me
it.
let me look this up. 90 Day Fiance Colombia.
Yeah, it was Mike and Jimena. Look at these two fucking people. It's just
90 Day
hilarious.
Fiance Colombia. Let me see.
It's just the dynamic these because like he was trying to learn Spanish, but he had to translate the majority of the shit. So it's just like they're always gonna argue, and she was clearly using him for money, and he couldn't accept it. And then it was just like funny and cringy to watch at the same time. It's like watching someone's downfall, but you clearly know that it's gonna happen, and it can clearly be avoidable, but they just don't get it, or they do, and TLC's just making them do it for the memes, um, but it's just
Yeah,
fucking
dude.
insane.
Jimenez nice, but Mike, yeah, not so much.
So that's kind of the
Mike,
dynamic, but a lot of it is like boomers going after young girls, or vice versa, or like these cougars that are trying to fuck like dudes in their mid 20s. It's just weird. It's just fucking weird.
yeah, I don't really want to be on this show.
You should. I'm telling you, dude. You got to. You're a
Why?
fucking prime candidate for this show.
No,
Yes, you
I'm not
are.
doing that.
Come on.
No, I don't want other people to watch like me spend time with my girlfriend. Like, no.
They're not gonna watch you spend time. They're gonna watch you argue. That's the whole point.
Even so, like that still goes in the same category.
You're like, turn these fucking cameras off. They're like, no, we'll punch you.
Yep,
You gotta
exactly.
make money.
Right,
But
dude. They
dude, I'm
got
telling you, you be a character. Like, you probably would be like pretty viral. Like you could make a career out of it, I would guess. And being on other
oh,
shows and shit, like I'm telling you, it's a door opener for you.
also like other people that I know, like that shit, like will just blow up on social media. Like, Will got on 90 Day Fiance.
I can't like you just I don't know how to say this without sounding like weird, but like you just have reality show energy, like the way you
Do I?
yes, you just, like you're
How? What
primed
the
for it.
fuck? Man, that's new for this podcast.
You just go for it. You just put yourself out there and just do shit, and that's like what a lot of these guys do on these reality shows. And like I said, I don't know how I assume most of it's fake, right? So I don't know if this is how they actually are in real life, but the
Right,
way
so
that
that's
they
why
are
I don't want
portrayed,
to.
yeah.
That's why I don't want to do that because I'm gonna have to compromise some sort of thing in reality. I'm like,
Well, that's
that's
the thing. I don't
weird.
know if they have to compromise with you. I think with you, they can just let the cameras roll.
Oh, I see. So you're saying like most of these guys are just regular dudes, just trying to just be with someone in another country, whereas I'm like, I actually do fit the script, and so they're like, oh fuck, he
No,
already
I,
is the
I think
script,
most of them are
right?
fucking weirdos. Like they have very few. I mean, the people that are regular, maybe have them be portrayed as weird or more weird than they usually are. I don't know. I've never been a part of a reality show. I don't know how they specifically do it, but the way that they portray it on TV, everyone's fucking insane. So whether that's half real or all fake or half fake, who fucking knows? But for you, I don't think they'd have to script much. I think they just let it roll and you just, say whatever you need to say, and then they're like, yeah, this will be fucking big. Especially because because you said that she doesn't speak that much English, so like you're gonna be talking Spanish most of the time.
Well, yeah. So then we wouldn't have any communication problems.
Yeah, but that's why it'd be even funnier because you still argue.
Oh yeah, and they have to sub it all.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying you're just prime rib, man. You're prime content for TLC.
I guess I am.
You come off the plane in your fedora and your shirt and they're always like, oh hell yeah, dude, fucking look at
Oh,
this American. They're ready to go.
that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Exactly. I'm telling you, bro. You'll You will be fucking become famous. I guarantee you. And like I can be that friend on TV that's just like, dude, this isn't a good idea. Have you thought put all your eggs in a basket? Like I don't know about this. But then secretly like I want to be on TV, so I'm like not gonna stop you.
Huh. Okay.
I'm telling you, it'll be a fucking great time.
Will it really?
Yeah, it will, because you will not only get to try something new that you've never done before. If it fails, you at least get to like have a silver lining to where now you're an internet personality.
I guess so. Yeah, and I would make money, but eh, nah, whatever. I'll pass.
I'd live for it. It would make my it would be my greatest birthday present if you were to go on 90 Day Fiance.
Unless they came to me, then I'm not doing it.
How the fuck would they come to you? They don't just come to people.
How do you know that? Maybe they're spying on us.
I mean, maybe to like the most outrageous people they can find, but like I assume most people contact them and they pick the most dumpster fire or the people that are ready to get exploited the
Dude,
most.
it's like some Harry Potter thing where like if you're not like magic born that you have to go to their house and explain to the parents like what the wizarding world is.
Pretty much.
They're gonna have to come and be like, "Dear Mr. Zeldin, we're from the Illuminati or something."
But the other reason why I think it'd be very good because you would like everyone on that show has very specific views that they always argue about with their significant other, and it's like usually the focal point of why the relationship fails. So like I can just see you on camera like trying to explain something about why you don't like something. It's just fucking
Like, what things have they fought about?
everything. Like, why haven't you come? Like, why haven't you made the trip to come see me? Why haven't you given me money in this amount of time? Who's this girl that you've been talking to on your Instagram? Like shit like that. It's just like standard like relationship nonsense aired for our amusement and their humiliation.
Hmm. Profiting off of other people's pain.
Exactly. It's American TV. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, dude, fuck that. I don't want to profit off of other people's pain. That's not a good look, bro.
No, we're gonna profit off your pain, but I think you'd be like I said, you do the big Ed effect. So like that guy probably has a fucking like makes a lot of money doing merch now, or probably has people tattooed, or has people
Dude,
tattoos of.
we
So
got. They're gonna have Will merch. It's
I'm
like
telling you, man.
the guy who went to Central America.
God, if nothing else, you need to document your endeavors.
Well, hopefully I will get to do that. But for now, I think I'm gonna have to call it.
Okay.
Yep.
You have a scheduled meeting you have to go to.
Perhaps. Well, this was a fun episode,
Oh
ladies
my
and gentlemen.
god, dude.
This should be coming out at the same time as the other one.
Oh fuck, I forgot about that. I gotta
Because it.
fix the stupid fucking audio.
Also, I was just feeling in a good mood. I was like, "Hey, we should do 2 podcasts in 1 week, dude,
Let's do
to
it.
make up for the lack of uploads."
I am down.
Alrighty.
See ya.
Yep. See you, man. Bye.